You are not God. Only He can create a man and woman. If you think you can, you are defying God's plan. The evil Dr. Frankenstein care about riches, not your mental health. Deep dive podcast show. Let's dive in. Amen. Quam dementia tua est. Spiritus qui venita Deo super orabo pro te Deus te amat. A Montibussa de Campos, a Burbibussa de Mare, stamus pro libertate, pro fide familia. From the mountains to the prairies, from the cities to the sea, we stand for liberty, for faith and family. Mergimus pro.
Out of the Kennedy Center.
Wild, yeah.
An employee was fired after posting a protest video, and it was directed at the center's board members.
Right. Why?
All those Trump appointees.
Yeah.
So we're looking at an article from American Wire News.
Okay.
The title is Kennedy Center Terminates Employee Over Extremely Disturbing Trump Protest Video.
Wow.
Quite a title.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we're going to break this whole thing down, figure out what went down.
Yeah.
And more importantly, like, what does it all mean? You know?
Right. What's the bigger picture here?
What's the bigger picture? Exactly.
Well, I mean, just at first glance, it's not your typical protest, you know?
No, it's not like a petition or a letter.
Right.
Nothing like that.
It's something else entirely.
Oh, yeah, this is way out there.
Okay.
So the article tells us about Travis Forsyth.
Uh-huh.
He's the now former employee.
Right.
He put up a 35-minute video.
Oh, wow. 35 minutes.
35 minutes long. And even the title is provocative.
Let's hear it.
Trump declares war on artists. Do I quit the Kennedy Center?
Oh, wow.
Like right off the bat, you know?
Yeah, he's conflicted.
Totally conflicted.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
This whole video, Forsyth is naked.
What?
Yeah, completely naked.
Wow.
Except for a rainbow heart emoji.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, strategically placed.
Okay, so this is definitely...
It grabs your attention.
It grabs your attention.
It gets you thinking.
Yeah, and that title, too.
Right.
You can really feel Forsyth's dilemma.
Totally.
Working at a prestigious place like the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
But also deeply concerned about where it's headed.
With this new leadership. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. And the article gets into some specifics, too,
Okay.
about his concerns.
Okay.
Forsyth was worried that staying at the Kennedy Center would make him complicit in what he called a hostile government takeover.
Wow. Strong words.
Very strong words.
Yeah.
And he went on to list groups he felt were under threat.
Okay. Like who?
Poor people, queer people, Black and brown people, people of color, immigrants, Muslims.
Oh, wow.
Victims in war-torn countries.
Okay.
Even women.
So this wasn't just like a general sense of unease. He was really thinking about specific communities.
Absolutely. This was targeted, you know.
Yeah. And that internal struggle.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating to me.
It's intense.
He wasn't just criticizing from the outside.
Right.
He was wrestling with his own position at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah. Like, do I stay and fight from within?
Yeah. Or do I walk away?
Exactly.
And that raises a question for you listening.
It does.
What happens when your personal values clash with your workplace?
Tough one.
It is.
It is a tough one.
Yeah.
And then Forsyth really let loose.
What did he say?
It's right there in the video.
Oh.
Feck Donald Trump in the Kennedy Center.
Whoa. Oh,
like
yeah.
raw emotion, you know.
Yeah, pure frustration.
Totally. And the article points out that some specific board appointments really fuel his anger.
Oh, right.
Okay, so the article mentions that usually a sitting president chairs the board.
Right.
But Forsyth took issue with Second Lady Usha Vance and Fox News host Laura Ingraham.
Okay, so not just a change in party.
Right. It seems like he was concerned about
Yeah.
what these specific individuals represent.
Right, and their influence on the Kennedy Center.
Exactly.
Like what kind of programming might we see now?
Yeah, exactly.
What did you think about those names being mentioned?
To me, it indicates a worry about
Yeah.
a shift in priorities, you know?
Right.
Like what voices and perspectives will the Kennedy Center champion now?
Right, it goes beyond just partisan politics.
Right.
It's about specific viewpoints.
Yeah. And it wasn't just about personnel either.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. Forsyth also brought up
Yeah.
some Kennedy Center finances and
Yeah.
operation stuff.
Like what?
He claimed they spent $250 million
$250 million.
and unused underground rooms.
What?
Wow.
And he mentioned an allegedly exorbitant
Hey.
$30,000 cost to move a piano.
To move a piano.
Yeah, as part of a union contract.
A piano, $30,000.
So we don't know if these figures are accurate.
Right.
But the fact that he brought them up
Yeah.
suggests a bigger concern about resource management.
Right. Like, are they being good stewards of the Kennedy Center?
Exactly. And under this new leadership,
Yeah.
does he trust them?
It seems like he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Hmm.
And the Kennedy Center responded quickly.
Okay. How quickly?
The article says Forsyth's video went up,
Uh-huh.
and the next day he was fired.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah, no messing around.
Okay, so what'd they say?
Well, the VP of Public Relations, Roma Daravi,
Okay.
told the LA Times that the video was
Yeah.
extremely disturbing considering this individual worked with minors.
Interesting.
So they shifted the focus away from the politics
Yeah.
and made it about his suitability to work with kids.
What do you think about that? It's a pretty big reframing of the situation, right?
It is.
It is.
Like suddenly it's not about free speech or political protest.
Right.
It's about protecting children.
Exactly. And Forsyth was having none of it.
Oh, really?
He fired back.
Okay, what do you say?
He said the implication that he might corrupt young people was laughably false, intentionally misleading, and is underscored by decades of hate targeted at LGBTQ plus educators.
So he's suggesting that
Yeah.
the Kennedy Center's reasoning is prejudiced against LGBTQ plus people.
Exactly. He sees it as disingenuous.
Okay.
And this raises an interesting point
What's that?
about how institutions define and enforce conduct standards,
Right, especially online.
especially online these days.
Yeah, where's the line between protected speech
Right.
and behavior that gets you fired?
It's blurry.
Totally blurry, especially when an employee's actions
Yeah.
could hurt the institution's reputation
Right.
or even the safety of the people they serve.
Exactly.
So think about this, everyone. In this age of online sharing,
Yeah.
what are your responsibilities as an employee?
If you're at a public-facing institution,
Yeah, about your digital footprint.
it's a good question.
That is.
And there's another detail in the article that
Okay.
adds another layer to all of this.
Okay, tell me.
An uncensored version of the video was apparently posted
Okay.
and then taken down.
And what was in the uncensored version?
Well, it showed everything.
Oh, wow.
Full nudity.
So that definitely changes things.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of the politics,
Right.
that kind of behavior might violate workplace policies,
It could.
you know?
Yeah.
Especially when you work with minors.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the real reason for the termination.
It's possible.
What the political message?
Yeah, the Kennedy Center might be focusing on that aspect
Yeah,
to avoid any appearance of political motivation.
exactly. And then we have Richard Grenell.
Okay, who's that?
He's the interim president of the Kennedy Center.
Okay.
And he went on X.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Very publicly.
Yeah.
And he said,
What'd he say?
this behavior will not be knowingly funded by the Kennedy Center. Today they care and were fired.
Okay, so he confirmed the termination.
Yes, very swiftly.
Like publicly. Very publicly.
It's like they wanted to make a statement.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, this is the line.
Don't cross it.
Exactly.
And what about that they, him?
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that might be about Forsyth's gender identity.
It could be, but the article doesn't elaborate.
Good.
But it's interesting that Grenell used those pronouns.
It is. Yeah.
So what do you think it means when the interim president makes such a public and immediate statement?
Well, I think it shows they wanted to be seen as taking action.
Yeah.
And they wanted to distance themselves from Forsyth.
Yeah, decisive action.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it's important to remember the political context here.
Right. This wasn't happening in a vacuum.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Forsyth's protest was clearly aimed at Trump's influence on the Kennedy Center.
Right. And it reflects concerns that are often associated with the left. And then you have Grenell, who was appointed by that same administration.
Right.
Responding in a way that aligns with a more conservative viewpoint.
Emphasizing accountability, you know?
Yeah, and standards of conduct.
Especially at a publicly funded institution.
Exactly. So we're seeing those broader cultural and political tensions play out.
Right. Tensions that go way beyond the arts.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate, we are reporting on what's in the American Wire News article.
Right.
We're not endorsing any political stance here.
Exactly.
We're laying out the events.
And the different viewpoints.
For you, the listener.
That's our job.
To help you understand.
Yeah. We're not taking sides.
Not at all.
We're dissecting this incident.
Yeah.
And looking at the implications for free speech.
Right.
workplace conduct.
Yeah, especially in a political environment.
Yeah.
And the role of political leadership.
Especially in cultural institutions.
Right. So big picture, we have Travis Forsyth,
Right. A Kennedy Center employee.
troubled by the direction of the institution.
Under new leadership.
Yeah.
Right.
And he makes this very unconventional protest video.
Naked,
yes.
Okay.
Criticizing the leadership.
But questioning his own role.
His own place, yeah.
Interesting.
And the Kennedy Center fires him immediately.
Citing the disturbing nature of the video.
And his work with minors.
Right.
Forsyth denies any wrongdoing.
And the interim president publicly supports the firing. It's quite a story.
It is.
And it raises some big questions.
For sure, like, where are the limits of employee protest?
Especially at a place like the Kennedy Center.
Right, a high-profile institution.
Yeah.
With expectations for how their staff behave.
And how do changes in leadership
At the top.
impact the culture of an organization?
It's priorities.
The personnel even.
Yeah, it's all connected.
It is.
And in this digital age,
Right.
what's considered disturbing behavior online?
And how does that intersect with free speech?
And institutional values.
Yeah, like the Kennedy Center's values.
Exactly.
It's complicated.
It is.
It makes you think about what happens
Yeah.
when personal beliefs clash with professional responsibilities
Right.
and when individual expression,
Bumps up against workplace norms.
especially at a place like the Kennedy Center.
So visible, so prominent.
Yeah, it's a fascinating case study.
It is unusual,
It is.
but it highlights these tensions.
Yeah, between politics and personal beliefs
And the workplace.
in our current world.
Definitely something to think about.
A lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
Some food for thought for everyone out there.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.